In this class, we'll discuss about the master plan and different classification of the road. So, first thing is master plan. So, what is master plan? So, from the name, you can just idea about these things. That is, it is related to some sort of planning of the road, planning and development of the road. So basically, a master plan is a dynamic long-term planning. So here, a long-term means you need to plan for 25 years. So basically, that is the master plan. So you need to plan for any road development to keep in mind about the next 25 years. Okay, so in the next 25 years, there will be much more development over that area. So keeping in view of the road traffic growth and other things in next 25 years, you need to provide a master plan. And this master plan is generally called as long-term plan. So this master plan for the execution of the work, you need to divide that master plan in suitable portion, and these are called short-term planning. Okay, so generally, first you need to design for a 25 years planning. After that, that long-term planning will be divided into short-term planning, and based on that short-term planning, you will execute different portion of the work. So basically, this is master plan. Now, a master plan is a dynamic long-term planning document that provides a conceptual layout to guide future growth and development. And master planning is about making the connection between buildings, social settings, and their surrounding environment. So whenever you are go for the master planning, so basically this master planning is used for the city planning, and in this master planning, all these things will be considered. That where your road structure will be, where different residential properties will be, where different business sectors will be. So you need to locate or you need to plan for each and everything. Now, a master plan includes analysis, recommendation, and proposal for site population, economy, housing, transportation, community facilities, and land use. So basically, it comprises of all the facilities which is around you. Now, it is based on public input. Different surveys are associated with the master plan and planning initiative, existing development, physical characteristics of the area, social and economic conditions. The next is role of the master planning. Why master planning is important? So master planning is generally useful to develop a phasing and implementation schedule and identify priorities of action. So as I said earlier, you first need to plan for 25 years. After that, based on the phasing or based on the implementation, you will divide this master plan in short-term planning. Short-term planning is generally 5 years planning. So master plan is 25 years planning and short-term planning is 5 years planning. So based on the priority of your work, you will divide the master plan in short-term planning. Act as a framework for regeneration and one minute, attract private sector investment, then conceptualize and shape the three-dimensional urban environment. Three-dimensional urban environment means you need to look for the development, you need to look for the environmental condition, and you need to look for the surrounding condition. Then define public, semi-private, and private spaces and public amenities. So you need to define whether different proportions will be situated, where different portion of your city development will be situated. Determine the mix of use and their physical relationship, engage the local community, and act as a builder of consensus. Now, coming to this point, determine the mix of use and their physical relationship. What is this? Suppose uh, let us consider different business activities over a area. So for the business activities, there would be some industry or some offices. Okay, and this different development thing is called generally land use pattern. In our transportation sector, it is called land use pattern. So suppose one industry area is there. Now some factories are there. Now if you are planning to provide some factories in the city center, in that case, it would not be very much helpful. Okay, because in the industrial area, there would be much more pollution, there would be much more noise. So if it is in between the city or if it is situated next to some residential area, in that case, it will create chaos. So generally that industrial areas or industrial sector is provided in the outskirt of the city. So after the industrial area, some buffer zone is provided. Buffer zone is means some vegetation, okay, some greens is provided. So why it is provided? So as to absorb all the greenhouse gases which have been emitted, which is emitted from the industrial sector, and so that the city environment remain clean and pure. Now, another thing is, suppose you have built some residential area. So, in that residential area also, there would be different type of mixes. There would be different type of buildings. Okay, some may be 1 BHK building, some may be 2 BHK building. So, you need to design for all these things. So, where this 1 BHK building will be, where this 2 BHK building will be. Another thing is, suppose one residential area is there, so in that case, it is required that some market area or some business area is nearer to it, so that the users over there can easily access all the facilities which is nearer to them. Then another thing, suppose some business area is there and you have established some market area is over there. Now in the market area, there will be different type of business models. Some will be bookstores, some will be some food stores, etc. So you need to plan for this. Where these food stores will be, where these bookstores will be, where this vegetable market will be. So these all things are taken care by the master planning. Now, elements of the master plan. Now, the master plan should include elements, different elements uh, such as massing, height, densities, orientation, grid, and blocks. So, basically, this massing, height, densities, orientation, grid, and blocks, these are different patterns of the master plan, and always we need to provide some open spaces in the city area. So these open spaces are generally provided for to occur some meeting or for some recreational activities. Then the master plan should also cover some or all of the following elements. So these are the different elements. Let us discuss about all these things. First one is image, neighborhood character, and heritage. Now, the plan should show the integration of contextual features, local surrounding topography, water, and distinctive landscape and heritage features should be incorporated into the design of the plan where it is possible. Suppose the area where you are assigned to plan, okay, suppose in that area some heritage building is there or some important landscape is there. So it is always advisable to keep intact about all these heritage things or all these important landscape characteristics. Okay, suppose one heritage building is there, in that case, you always have to plan in such a way that that heritage portion is getting highlighted from your master plan. You cannot demolish these things. So if you demolish that heritage places, or if you demolish some important landscape, in that case, the total area will be uh, devoid from its original characteristic. So whenever you are going for a master plan, you always have to look for the local features which are available over there, and based on the local features and surroundings, you need to plan accordingly. Next one is various uses including housing and commercial areas. Now the plan should show the location of various types of uses, densities, yields and lot size. Various type of uses means which portion of your city area would be used for which activity. Okay, some of the areas may be used for the residential purpose, some of the area may be used for the recreational purpose, some of the area may be used for industrial purpose, etc. You need to look for it. Now, when developing housing, a variety of housing types, size, and tenures must be considered. So that is the thing which I have discussed, that if there are different type of buildings, it may be 1 BHK, 2 BHK. So you need to consider all these factors accordingly. Now, in this context, the plan should also ensure appropriate housing density and diversity. The master plan should also flexible enough to allow for change over time in housing diversity as community matters. So this thing is very much important. Okay, because your master plan, so basically this is 25-year plan. So you have designed some area keeping in mind about this 25-year plan. That is, in 25 years, there may be chances of future expansion. Okay, population will become more mature, or there would be population growth. So in that case, your master plan should be flexible enough so that in any time you can incorporate some important feature. Okay, if it is rigid, in that case, it will not fulfill whatever task it was allotted to. Now, similarly, commercial areas should be planned within other areas to promote mixed use neighborhoods. So commercial areas means, suppose some market area is there, some other places are there. So you need to plan this accordingly. Suppose there are 50,000 population. So for that 50,000 population, you plan for a market area. For another 50,000 population, you plan for another market area. Okay, like that. You need to design all these things keeping in view of the users over there. So how they can use this more effectively, how it would be more efficient for them. Now, similarly, commercial areas, okay, this is discussed already. Now, and retail use entertainment and retail land uses should also be integrated in the master plan. There should be some places where there are some recreational activities is being promoted. Then open space and the public realm. Now, jurisdiction around the world will require different open space prescriptions. So, why this open space is required? Open space is required because of some recreational activities. If there is some meetings, it is required for the required as a playground, etc. So, for all these reasons, some open space is always required. Now, plans should show the location of open spaces including function, size and scale. So there may be different type of open spaces, and these different open spaces would be designated as per their requirement. Okay, some of the open spaces may be used as a meeting place, some of the open spaces may be used as a playground, some of the open space may be used as a park. Now, however, Both qualitative and quantitative measures as well as the ratio of active and passive users should be taken into account. Qualitative means what is the quality of that area, and quantitative means what are the numbers of that area. So that should be measured accordingly. Now, our next point is biodiversity. Now, the plan should show the location of significant biodiversity values as well as where and how these are to be incorporated into the development of the site. Like I said, that open spaces are required. In some of the open spaces, you can design for part, some biodiversity area or some area where generally there would be some park, okay, some biodiversity park or some vegetation park, etc. Along this some path would be there, so all the people can go over there and can get relaxed from the busy nature of the city. Now, biodiversity and environmental factors should also be planned for at the beginning of the regeneration project in order to protect, enhance, manage, and strike a balance between development use, flora, and fauna sustainability. So, basically, this biodiversity is hello, hello. So basically, this biodiversity is required to make the city more sustainable. Suppose in the city area, this city area will always be very much busy with different road traffic, with different business areas, with some different your industry area, etc. So from this industry area, from this building area, from this business area, uh, much more pollutant will be generated over there. So if there is some biodiversity, if there is uh, uh, some vegetation over there, in that case it will help to absorb all these pollutant and make your city clean and sustainable. Then integrated water management and utilities. This is very much important for any city to sustain you. That water management is very much important. Okay, because water is required for each and every household. So whenever you are designing or whenever you are going for the master plan, you need to look for the different water sources which would be useful for the city, because your city is a city will be required a huge amount of water for the consumption purpose, for the industrial purpose, okay, and for other purposes. Now, the plan design should be based on the site waterways, making careful decision to preserve the wetlands and catchment area. So basically, this water management is very much important, and that's why the important cities around us are generally constructed beside some river. Now, at the same time, there is a need to protect the waterfront from being fully privatized and to preserve the public use of the waterways. Suppose in your area or in your city, some water lands, some ponds are there, some lakes are there. So you always have to look for the preservation of the area. So basically, what happens in the city area, this land value is very much high. So sometimes what people will do, they will simply destroy the water areas by fill up with some soil, and again they will uh, sold off their property, okay, to get a maximum land value. So you have to look for this also, so that all the waterways or all the water bodies can be preserved over there. Now, considerations needs to be given to existing and new waterways and catchments, as well as to utility infrastructure in the design of the site. Another thing is if some waterways or or ponds or lakes are there, it will help as a rainwater harvesting. And another thing is, suppose some fire accident occurs over there, so it is always helpful if some water bodies is nearby to that area. So you can consider this whenever you are planning for some residential area or other area. In each and every area, there must be some small or large water bodies, so that in the time of different chaotic condition, that water can be used. Moreover, in the city, another thing is required, that is suitable water management, so that potable water can be distributed to all the users. Now, next thing is transport, and this is basically our main concern. So, you need to design the transport facilities as per the different land use pattern. Suppose in the residential area, if the population density is not too much high, in that case, your land width can be narrower. Now, if for the industrial area or for the business area, there would be much more population, there would be much more traffic. So in that case, your width of the road should be higher. Now the plan should show the hierarchy of street, pedestrian and cycle paths if it is possible. Hierarchy of the roads means in urban road there are different division of the road. Okay, like your arterial, sub-arterial, major district road, minor district road, etc. Now it should also outline how arterial roads, collector streets, and local access streets will be designed to cater to multiple transport modes. So generally for the city, your road is classified as arterial, subarterial, collector or connector streets and local access. So generally this local access will go up to your resident, then local access road will be meet with the collector streets, and collector street, the width of the collector street would be more than the local access road. Then this connector streets will be meet with the arterial or subarterial road. Generally, arterial roads are the main road of any particular area. For example, for the Guwahati, our arterial road is GS road. Now, priority should be given to public transport, and walking and cycling should be encouraged throughout the layout of paths. Now coming to the next portion, this portion is very much important, that is highway classification. How highway are classified based on different characteristics. So basically there are different characteristics, and based on this different classification has been done. So first one is depending on the weather condition. So there are two types of road based on the weather condition. One is all weather road. These all-weather roads remain accessible for or during all the weather conditions. So it doesn't affect whether it is raining heavily or whether it is a flood in other areas. So basically, all-weather road will be accessible throughout the year. Next come fair weather roads. So these roads, for a particular period of time, their traffic may get interrupted during the monsoon seasons or during the like hailstorm or during the other natural phenomenon. Now next one is depending on the type of carriageway. Carriageway is the black top portion over which the vehicles are moving. So it may be paved roads, it may be unpaved roads. Okay, so if they are provided with a hard pavement course, suppose one road is there, embankment is there, and over there some hard pavement is done. This pavement can be done in terms of your cement concrete, in terms of your bitumen concrete, or in terms of waterbound macadam. So waterbound macadam is basically, suppose one embankment is there, over that embankment you place some road aggregate, okay, and use some filler. After that you find that waterbound macadam. So basically, waterbound macadam is the hard paved road without the surface, okay, without the pavement surface. Then unpaved roads are basically the earthen roads. They are not provided with any hard pavement course. Now next one is depending upon the pavement surface. So here, basically this category is basically the expansion of the paved roads. So in the paved roads, there are two types. One is based on the surface condition. So there may be surface road, and these surface roads may have bituminous or concrete surfacing. Bituminous means which you have generally seen over the road. That is the black sticky portion. And concrete surfacing, you know what is concrete. So in some of the cases, concrete surfacing is also provided based on the traffic condition. Another one is unsurfaced road. So in the unsurfaced road, you will not provide any type of bitumen surfacing or cement concrete surfacing. That would be only waterbound macadam. Now coming to the next portion, based on the traffic volume. So based on the traffic volume, your road may have a heavy traffic condition, it may have a medium traffic condition, or it may have a light traffic condition. So based on the traffic condition, you need to design your road. Then based on location and function. So there are different categories. In the primary category, you will get national highway and state highway. Then you will get major district road, other district road, and village road. So let us discuss about all these things. So there are two terms which you need to understand. One is accessibility and another one is mobility. Accessibility means how easily you can access the road, and mobility means how much speed you can attain over there. Okay, is it clear what is accessibility and what is mobility? So in that case, we can proceed further. Is it clear what is accessibility and what is mobility? Okay, once again, so accessibility means how easily you can access the road. Let me give one example. Suppose one road is there which passes in front of your home. Okay, so whenever you are getting out of your home, you can easily access that particular road. So this is accessibility, how easily you can get to the road. That is accessibility. Now consider this condition. uh, Suppose your the street road, okay, which connects your house to other roads, that road is very much narrower, and you are living in some society or other cases. In that case, what will happen, your generally that road, that your street road would be narrower. Now, in that street road, their construction would not be so much high in comparison to the other type of roads like national highway or other type of roads. So, in that street road, you cannot, if you are moving with some vehicle, in that case, you cannot attain a maximum speed or a suitable speed. Why? Because the properties of that road uh, cannot allow you to use the maximum facility. Okay, so we can say that your local street or your street road is accessible, that is hugely accessible, but mobility over there is very much less. Mobility is less means you you cannot attain a suitable speed over there. Okay, that is mobility. Now coming to the next portion. Now suppose you are going from your highly accessible street road to another road. Suppose nearby highway is there, you go over there. Now in the highway, that accessibility is reduced than your local street. Okay, how it is reduced? Because that highway you cannot directly access to the highway. First, you have to uh, go with the local street, and through that local street only you can go to the highway. So for the highway, your accessibility is reduced from the local street. But in the highway, you can drive the vehicles with suitable speed. Okay, their facilities would be high. It would be surface road generally. So in that case, mobility will be increased. So basically, this is the main logic behind the accessibility and mobility. Now, if we consider this different type of road, okay, these village roads. So village roads are the roads which connect different villages or which connect different houses of the villages. So generally, this village road would be earthen road, but these village roads will be uh, go through your or in front of your houses. So in that case, the accessibility of the village road would be very much high. But what happens as these village roads are constructed with poor materials and generally these roads are earthen roads, so mobility over the village road would be very much less. Now, this village road will connect to the other district road. Okay. Now, other district road generally connects different important portion of the village, and the other district road it will connect to the major district road. Okay. Now, major district road is main important road in a district area which connect important business areas or important cities within a district. Okay, now, if you go for the hierarchy, in that case, accessibility of the village road is maximum, but mobility is minimum. Then you go for the other district road. In that case, accessibility is slightly reduced, but mobility has slightly increased. Then, if you go for the major district road, in that case, accessibility is again reduced, but mobility again increased. Then coming to the state highway, these are the important roads within a city, within a state, which connect different important district headquarters with the national highway. Okay, so here in the state highway, your accessibility get reduced, but your mobility get considerably increased. Again, for the national highway, your accessibility is reduced, but here you can get a maximum mobility. Now coming to the next portion, expressway. So basically in the expressway, your mobility would be maximum. Okay, but here accessibility would be very much minimum. Why accessibility is reduced? First thing is in the expressway, heavy traffic at high speed. Okay, high speed means here the minimum uh, in the expressway, one minimum speed have to be maintained by all type of vehicles. If they cannot maintain the speed, in that case, they do not have any access over the expressway. Then land width is also very much high. Okay, so if land width is high, in that case you can easily attain a higher speed. Here the construction material is also very much good. Surfacing condition is also very much good. Then full access control. So here all of your access could be highly controlled by different access management tools. You cannot access the expressway in between somewhere. Okay, this expressway would be separated by other traffics. Now connects major points of traffic generation like Delhi Agra Expressway. So this expressway connects two important cities. One is of historical importance and another is capital of India. No slow moving traffic is allowed, and in between you cannot load, unload, or any type of parking is allowed. So in the expressway you just have to start at the starting point and stop at the ending point. In between there would be no stoppage, nothing would be there. So in the expressway, see the difference. Here mobility would be maximum because you can attain maximum speed over the expressway. But the accessibility of the expressway is very much got reduced. Now another thing, national highway, if we consider, so we have already discussed about all these properties. So another thing is golden quadrilateral. So basically, this is a national highway project connects all four important cities, that is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. So basically, these are the metro cities, and this is a plan to connect all these cities so that business activities will be easy. Because if the road construction or if the connectivity is high, in that case, the chances of the development would be more because you can transport all these goods and other things more easily from one place to another place. So already that Delhi Kolkata Chennai Mumbai road already 5,846 kilometer has completed. Now some portion has left, so it will be completed within few years. Now coming to the description of these different roads. So these things I have already discussed. So state highway, they are the arterial roads of the state. Arterial roads means main roads of the state connecting up with the national highway. So as I discussed, this state highway will connect with the national highway, district headquarters and important cities within a state. Okay, so some important district headquarters will be connected with the state highway, and that state highway will be connected with the national highway. Then major district road, it is important road within a district serving areas of production and markets, connecting those with each other or with the major highways. Major highways means that major district road will connect all the important features within a district with the state highway. Then other district road and village road. So other district road serves rural areas and link to major district road or state highway. And village road will connect with the other district road. So if you are staying in a village, so first you have to go for the first thing which you will encounter is the village road. So through the village road you can go with to the other district road. Through the other district road you can go in the major district road. Then from the major district road you can access the state highway, and from the state highway you can access the national highway. So basically this is the general hierarchy of the road classification in India. So here are some link. You just have to go over there, and in this link, some portion is discussed like waterbound macadam, Nagpur road plan, Bombay road plan, highway research post, etc. So basically, these things are all theoretical things. So and there is nothing to discuss all these things. So that's why I'm not discuss this over here. So you can look for the link and you can have a look over all this material. Now let us discuss if you have any problem or if you have any confusion. If not, please give your attendance. You can provide your attendance in the chat box because our class will be over within 6 minutes. So another thing I want to ask you whether your portal is accessible. Your ERP portal is accessible to you.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So have you gone through the notes over there, fifth semester notes?
About
about transportation
About
engineering.
your subject, there
I
were no notes.
Okay. Please go through the notes. In that note also, if you miss something or if your friends have missed something, in that note also I have attached some of my videos. Okay, some of my videos and some of the YouTube videos. So you can look for it. Okay, and the class notes of all the classes, that total 30 classes, all these class notes are provided over there. So you can download all the class notes all together. Okay.
I'm telling you, sir.
Yes.
Like after this class, can we go to the portal and read our attendance?
Yes, you can go to the portal and you can look for the classes. For today's class, I have already shared this in your WhatsApp group. So for other classes, you just can look for the classes. Like this is class number 2. So in the ERP portal, you go to the class number 3 and 4, and you just simply read about all these things. So it will be easy for you. If you
No,
have
no, no,
any mistakes and other things, in that case, you can ask me. Okay.
no.
So
What I mean is that so we have to rate your class now, like rating.
yes, you have to rate. Yes, rating is there.
So I mean like after this class we can rate.
After the class, first I have to upload the videos. After the uploading the
Oh,
videos, in that case, your rating would be open. Then you can rate. After the rating, your attendance will be counted.
so please you remind us once you have uploaded, no, so that we
Uh,
can go and
uh,
rate your class.
yes, yes, yes. I will remind you. And another
Okay, thank you
thing,
so much.
as this subject is new to you, very much new to you, whether the explanation I have provided this is enough for you, or I am going too fast or too slow. Is it okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So if you faces any problem, okay, regarding the subject, please let me know,
Mm,
because this time
sure.
you don't have any physical classes. In that case, it is very much hard to keep track on all the students until and unless you categorically told me about your problem. Okay. So in the physical class I can
Okay.
ask you sometime, but in this thing you have to ask me what is about your problems.
Mm, okay.
Okay.
Is there any book that you want us to follow?
There is one book, Khanna Jastu, but if you do not have that book, you can simply follow my notes. Okay, that would be enough.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Mm.
So can we leave now?
Yes, you can leave now. Okay, if you need that book, I have one soft copy of that note book. Okay, I'll share this to you.
Charles. Mm.
You can pass it to the seer.
Okay, okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay.